So Matt Gaetz is gone.
This is from Matt Gaetz. Quote, I had excellent meetings with senators yesterday. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many. While the momentum was strong, it is clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition.
And while Democrats feel good for a second, they need to keep the pressure on. And while it's always good to get someone like Rapey McForehead, what does it really mean? Was this a Machiavellian move by Trump, offering up Gaetz to distract from what he really wanted? No, because Trump can't finish a game of Wordle, much less plan a multi-layered psychological assault on his enemies.
To silence you, censor you, discriminate against you, or in any way tell you what you have to say. They want you to say what they want to have you say.
So did the Democrats win, or did the Republicans lose? And of course, what's next? Sure, Tulsi is a Russian asset.
So now she's defended Russia, she's defended Syria, she's defended Iran, and she's defended China. Now, she has not denounced any of these views. None of them. She hasn't taken one of them back. DNI, Department of National Intelligence, this is not a place for a Russian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese sympathizer.
Marco's a spineless little boy.
Don't worry about it, little Marco.
RFK called Trump a Nazi. What?
Quote, the way that you build a truly vicious nationalist movement is to wed a relatively small core of belligerent idiots to a much larger group of opportunists and spineless fellow travelers whose primary function is to turn a blind eye to things. We may not have that many outright Nazis in America, but we have plenty of cowards and bootlickers.
Kristi Noem is a puppy killer.
Don't shoot a dog, okay? Really?
Doug Burgum, you don't know who he is, do you? Well, he doesn't believe in climate change. Oz is a Turkish citizen and he's in their army. That's true. Google it.
President-elect Donald Trump has picked WWE co-founder Linda McMahon to be the education secretary.
McMahon, she has some CTE issues. Elon's a mental case, and Hegseth,
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles.
Wants women in their place, which apparently is in his bed with him on top of them.
The matter was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared, and that's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you very much.
Okay, again, he wasn't completely clear. He just wasn't prosecuted.
But Gaetz, he was the winner when it came to laying a log in the bed. He hit the perv trifecta, young girls, cocaine, and crossing state lines. And putting him in charge of the Justice Department, that'd have been like putting RFK in charge of vaccines. Oh, wait.
RFK said doctors found a worm in his brain that had eaten part of his brain.
So what straw broke the rapist back, and why didn't Trump support him in the crunch?
I greatly appreciate the recent effort to Matt Gaetz in seeking approval to be the Attorney General. He was doing very well, but at the same time did not want to be a distraction for the administration, which he has much respect. Matt has a wonderful future, and I look forward to watching all the great things he will do.
You want to watch everything he does? Okay, Donnie. Anyway, Trump is a fairly prolific rapist himself. He kicked Matt out the door, and now there are two looming questions. Who will Trump nominate? I mean, does he have any friends who aren't thieves or child rapists? And what will Gaetz do? I guess he could teach junior high. If the Democrats won anything here, remember this. Trump could appoint Mike Flynn, the former Trump head of intelligence who wanted to steal the election outright and is now a convicted felon. So what did they accomplish?
One person, a member of Congress, wanted me to stop an ethics complaint because he slept with a 17-year-old.
Well, for starters, Gaetz was a bad guy. A guy who not only was a walking, talking obscenity of a person.
Why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb.
But someone who was ready to roll over and play Trump's Barbie doll by dropping all the charges, something the next Attorney General will most definitely do. And as you probably know, Trump is facing court dates on creating an insurrection and stealing government documents and not returning them. And the first thing his AG will do is drop the charges. And that's why Trump likes Gaetz. He needs someone he can control, and Rapey McForehead's spine is about as strong as Richard Simmons' aerobics class.
And again, 5, 6, 7.
There is no time to waste on a needlessly protracted Washington scuffle. Thus, I'll be withdrawing my name from consideration to serve as Attorney General. Trump's DOJ must be in place and ready on day one. I remain fully committed to see that Donald J. Trump is the most successful president in history. I will forever be honored that President Trump nominated me to lead the Department of Justice, and I'm certain he will save America. Matt Gaetz, 8 days, Andrea, after being nominated, his name being put into the fold for Attorney General of the United States, is dropping out. This all while there was debate within the House Ethics Committee over whether to release the ethics report looking into the allegations that he had had sexual interactions with a minor dating back several years ago. Ultimately, yesterday, the House Ethics Committee was at a standstill, choosing not to release the report at this time. But we know that senators, including some Republicans, were interested in having the details of the underlying allegations and evidence that was in the hands of the House Ethics Committee. Of course, Matt Gaetz turned heads when Donald Trump first picked him. They were on their way from Washington, D.C., aboard Trump's plane back here to Mar-a-Lago 8 days ago when the decision was made by Donald Trump in flight to nominate Gaetz in a surprising fashion to lead the Department of Justice.
Bottom line, Republicans are in a quandary. They fought for Trump because they didn't have the balls to stick with Haley or any other quasi-pre-Trump conservative, and then found themselves stuck with supporting a guy who plied a 17-year-old girl with coke before paying her for sex with his adopted son's PayPal account.
And that is, the hysteria on the left about Matt Gaetz. And Matt has been in the forefront with Jim Jordan of fighting against weaponization.
Yeah.
Does he not deserve a chance to be heard?
Well, not only does he deserve a chance to be heard, every president deserves a chance to pick their cabinet. Elections do matter. When I say elections have consequences, and I vote for Democratic nominees that I would not have chosen, I am some kind of great statesman. When I apply that same standard to a Republican president, I'm somehow a lackey. I am telling you exactly what I'm going to do. I did it for Bush, I did it for Obama, I did it for Biden, and I'm going to do it for President Trump. He won the election. He deserves a chance to pick his cabinet. I am predisposed to allow him to do that. I think Matt Gaetz is very bright. I think he's qualified.
Lindsey Graham and others displayed the thinness of their moral skin. I mean, seriously, at what point does a Republican say no mas?
Sex charges against me.
How do you reconcile supporting a child rapist while having a conscience? Easy. You fire your conscience.
I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here.
There was a time, not that long ago, that the Attorney General was independent of the president's wishes and demands. They would resign before capitulation. But now, look at this list of sycophants. And as bad as they are, most will be confirmed. And while Democrats won the first battle, it doesn't seem likely there will be many more victories, with the possible exception of RFK and Hegseth, both learning about what not to say in front of a camera. Although if this hump starts dragging Hispanic mothers and children from their homes, there may yet be a moment for Democrats to again gain the higher ground. And instead of being the party of trans bathrooms only, they might instead flush MAGA back where they belong.
It's the enemy from within.
Yes.
Damn right.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
This is not a normal election.
Whether the women like it or not.
Suck my fat one. Who's with me?
Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, Darren.
Who's with me? Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
I don't want to talk about this stuff. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.